everybody. I hope you are staying healthy. Today we are reviewing a unit which is entitled as Health and Welfare. The objectives of this review are, first, to review and reinforce vocabulary related to health and welfare, review and reinforce expressions of asking for and giving advice, and review and reinforce the form and the use of the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. So this unit is about health and welfare. Health means being healthy, that is, being free from illness or injury. And welfare is the physical, mental, and the psychological health. So let's start this review with vocabulary tasks. So for task number 1, you match the words with the pictures. So we have backache, cough, toothache, sore throat, flu, fever, earache, headache, and stomachache. So number 1 is fever. Number 2, sore throat. Number 3, headache. Number 4, stomachache. Number 5, toothache. 6, backache. 7, earache. 8, flu. And 9, cough. So in task number 2, you fill in the blanks with the appropriate and correct vocabulary word related to sickness. So we have number 1, she had some apples that weren't ready to eat, and now she's got a. So here we have eaten and apples that were not ready, so that causes problem to the stomach. So she's got a stomachache. Number 2, after carrying all the shopping home, Mrs. Brown has got a. So here has got a. So here, when you, for example, lift heavy boxes or you carry a lot of things, so you feel a pain in your back. So has got a backache. Number 3, look at Molly's cheek. I think with that painful, she should make an appointment with the dentist. So here we have cheek and we have the dentist. So here, the correct vocabulary word is toothache. 4, the music was really too loud at the concert and I still feel bad 2 days after. So when you listen to a loud music, that causes pain to your ear. So I still feel a bad earache. 6, oh God, I can't speak with maybe I should take a little honey. So here, you cannot speak with you cannot speak with your toothache. But here we have a keyword which is honey. So you use honey and lemon juice when you have a sore throat. Number 6, 40 Celsius degree. We got such a, we should call the doctor immediately. So here the keyword is 40 Celsius degree, which means that the correct vocabulary word is fever. In task number 3, you classify habits into healthy habits or unhealthy habits. So in order to be healthy, you have to do healthy habits and avoid unhealthy habits. So staying up late is unhealthy habit. Smoking is unhealthy habit. Sleeping well is a healthy habit. Washing hands is also a healthy habit. Brushing teeth is also a healthy habit. Taking a shower regularly is also a healthy habit. Eating between meals is an unhealthy habit. So here you eat too much. Exercising or playing any sports is a healthy habit. Taking drugs is unhealthy habit, and having a medical checkup or medical examination is a healthy habit. So in task number 4, here you choose the correct word. So number 1, the doctor gave Millie a prescription, recipe, paper for some medicine. So here the doctor, he writes the medicine that you have to buy in what? In a prescription or a recipe or paper. So recipe is related to cooking, and the correct answer is prescription. Number 2, I bought the medicine at the physician, chemist, or hospital. So where do you go to buy medicine? You go to the chemist or the pharmacy. Number 3, he couldn't finish the football match because he had a pain, hurt, sore in his leg, and the correct word is pain. 4, people use a thermometer to take the heat, temperature, or fever, and the correct word is temperature. 5, a healthy or unhealthy or dangerous diet includes lots of fruits and vegetables. And here, of course, we talk about healthy diets. So in task number 4, you match words in column A with words in column B to form appropriate collocations. And collocation is a pair of words or a group of words which go together. So number 1, go on. Number 2, medical. Number 3, stay. Number 4, contracted. 5, substance. 6, undergo. 7, positive. 8, workout. 9, mental. In column B, we have A, routine. B, abuse. C, surgery. D, wellness. E, healthy. F, a diet. G, coronavirus. H, attitude. And I, checkup. So number 1, go on. A diet, which means to have fruits and vegetables and avoid fast food. Number 2, medical, checkup to see if you have any disease. 3, stay healthy and keep fit. 4, contracted coronavirus, which means you caught coronavirus and or coronavirus was transmitted to you from someone else. Number 5, substance abuse, like for example taking drugs. 6, undergo surgery, a surgery which means having an operation. 7, positive attitude. 8, workout routines, doing a lot of exercises and playing sports. 9, mental wellness, so to be mentally healthy. So here in task number 5, you use the collocation that we have just made and you put them in the correct place. So here we have go on a diet, medical checkup, contracted coronavirus, undergo a surgery, and mental wellness. Number 1, learning to manage stress achieves. So here, stress is related to mental and psychological health. So learning to manage stress achieves mental wellness. Number 2, he will schedule to on Monday to repair the damage. So here we have a date on the operation that the patient is going to undergo. So he will schedule to undergo a surgery on Monday to repair the damage. Number 3, a teacher has died at the age of 35 after it is believed she contracted coronavirus, means that she caught that kind of virus. Number 4, I need to lose some weight, so I need to go on a diet. Number 5, the disease was detected during the last one, which is the left So the vocabulary was left and a question, which is medical checkup. So here in faction, you were taught to ask for advice and also to give advice. So to ask for advice, you use one of these expressions. What do you think I should do? What should I do? What ought I to do? What's your advice? Can or could, depending on the person whom you are talking to. Could you give some pieces of advice about what do you advise me to do? What would you do if you were me? What would you do if you were in my shoes? What would you do in this situation? Or to give advice, you say, I think you should, you ought to, you'd better, I would advise you to, my advice would be to, what you need to do is to, why don't you, if I were you, I would, you could simply. So in task number 1, you try to fill in the gaps with the appropriate expression of asking for advice or giving advice. So Juwan, hi Craig, how are you? Craig, not so good. I have a terrible cold. And here you ask for advice. So you can say, what do you think I should do? Or what should I do? Or what's your advice? Juwan, really? That's too bad. In here, you express advice. So you can say, you should, you'd better, I advise you to do this and that. So you could simply go to home and stay in bed. It's really important to get a lot of rest. Craig, yeah, you are right. Juwan, and have you taken anything for it? Craig, no, I haven't. In here you ask for advice. So you can say, what do you advise me to do? Or what should I do? Juwan, well, again, give advice. You should or you'd better eat garlic soup. Just chop up a whole head of garlic and cook it in chicken stock. Try it, it really works. Craig, yuck, that sounds awful. Here in task number 2, you write 2 pieces of advice for each person. So the person number 1 has got a fever. So try to give an expression of giving advice plus the advice. So you can say, for instance, you ought to take some aspirin, or you should take some aspirin. Or if I were you, I would drink lots of liquids. Or you'd better see a doctor. So you give an expression of giving advice plus the advice. Person number 2 has got a toothache. So how can you advise her? So you can say, I would advise you to see a dentist, or you should get some medicine. Person number 4 has got a sore throat. So you can advise her as, what you need to do is to see a doctor. Or my advice would be to take some vitamin C, or you should drink honey or a lemon juice. Person number 4 burns his hand. So you can advise him as, you'd better put some ointment on it, or you could simply put it under cold water, or you can use, for instance, you should use ice cubes and put it to your hands. You can put some ice cubes on your hands. So in grammar, you studied the form and the use of the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. So the present perfect simple is formed by using has or have. Has goes with she, he, it, and with any singular noun. And have goes with I, we, you, they, and with any plural noun, plus the past participle of the main verb. So we have two types of verbs, regular verbs and irregular verbs. And the past participle of regular verb is verb plus ed, and the past participle of irregular verb has a different form. So there is a list of irregular verbs that you must study and learn. So you can say, you have done the homework. That is subject plus have or has plus the past participle. For negative sentences, we can use the subject plus has or have plus not plus the past participle. So you use not between the helping verb has or have in the past participle. For example, you haven't done the homework. For questions, you invert the helping verb has or have with the subject plus the past participle and use a question mark. For example, have you done the homework? So when do we use the present perfect simple? We use the present perfect simple with periods of time which are not finished at the moment of speaking, with indefinite events, that is, when it's not important or it's not known when the action happened, with the adverbials just, already, and yet. It is also used with for and since to say that something is still true now. You also studied the present perfect continuous, and the present perfect continuous is formed by using the subject plus has or have plus the past participle of the verb to be, which is been, plus the main verb plus ing. For example, you have been doing the homework. For negative sentences, you put not between has or have and been. So it is subject plus has or have plus not plus been plus verb plus ing. For example, you haven't been doing the homework. And to form questions and using the present perfect continuous, you use has or have plus the subject plus been plus verb plus ing, and then use the question mark. For example, have you been doing the homework? Here you just invert the helping verb has or have with the subject. So when do we use the present perfect continuous? The present perfect continuous is used with since, for, how long, and phrases starting with all day, all night, all morning, to emphasize the duration of time or the length of time. That is to say how long an action has been in progress. So it is used to emphasize how long the action has been in progress. And the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous are used to talk about an action that started in the past and continues up to the present and possibly into the future. So we talk here about a connection between the past and the present. So let's have some practice. So here in task number 1, you write a sentence with just or a negative sentence with yet. So just means a short time before now or not long ago, and yet means we use yet with negative sentences to say that something has not happened, but it will happen. So let's do this task. Number 1, we have she go out. So a few minutes ago, she decided to go out. Now, she is still in the room. So we use just to say that the action happened a short time before now, or to say the action has not happened. So the action has not happened, and we use a negative sentence with yet. So we use she with the helping verb has not, plus the past participle of go, which is gone. She has not gone out yet. We put yet at the end of the negative sentence. Number 2, the bus go. So now you see that the bus is moving, is leaving the station. So here we use just, which means a short time before now. So we use the bus plus has. Why? Because we can replace the bus with it. No, not. And the past participle of go is gone. So the bus has just gone, and we put just between the helping verb has and the main verb gone. Number 3, here we have the train leave. So now the train is still in the station. So we use a negative sentence with yet because the action has not happened. So we use the train plus has plus not. Why has? Because we can replace the train with it. Has not. Plus the past participle of leave, which is left, and yet. So the train has not left yet. So we put yet at the end of the sentence. For number 4, he opens. So there is a present, and now the present is not open. So the action has not happened. That's why we use a negative sentence with yet. So he plus has plus not plus the past participle of open, which is plus ed, and we finish the sentence. So he hasn't opened the present yet. Number 5, they finish the dinner, and you see that in the picture now, the dishes are empty, which means that the action finished a short time before now. So we use the sentence with just. So they have, we put just between have and the main verb, and the main verb as a regular verb plus ed. So they have just finished the dinner. Number 6, it stopped raining, and you see now that there is sun, so it is an indicator that the action finished a short time before now. So we use a sentence with just, and use it has just. We put just between the helping verb and the main verb. Stopped plus ed because it is a regular verb, raining. So it had just stopped raining. So for task number 2, you complete the sentences and use already plus the present perfect. So we use already to emphasize that something happened before now or before it was expected to happen. Number 1, what time is Paul arriving? So here the main verb is arriving. So we use he plus has, and we put already between the helping verb and the main verb, and the past participle of arrive. So he has already arrived. Number 2, do your friends want to see the film? No, they plus have already, and the verb to be conjugated here is see, which is an irregular verb. So they have already seen the film. Seen is the past participle of see. Number 3, don't forget to phone Tom. So here we have I plus have plus already plus the past participle of phone, which is a regular verb, which means plus D because we have an E. So I have already phoned Tom. Full stop. Number 4, when is Mark going away? So he plus has plus already plus the past participle of go, which is gone. So he has already gone away. Number 5, do you want to read the newspaper? So I have already and plus the past participle of read, which is read. So I have already read the newspaper. 6, when does Sarah start her new job? She plus has plus already plus the past participle of start, which is a regular verb, which means plus ed. So she has already started her new job. So in these sentences, we use already to say that or to emphasize that something happened before now or before it was expected to happen. For example, she asked whether Sarah started her new job, and here the person whom she is talking to answered that she has already started her new job, which means that you didn't expect her to start her job, but she already did. So in task number 3, you complete the sentences using the verbs in brackets, and here use the present perfect or the past simple. So number 1 is already done, that's why we go immediately to number 2. The office is empty now, everybody go home. So the action of going home started in the past and finished in the past, which means that here we should use the past simple. So everybody went home, and went is the past participle of go. Number 3, I meant to call you last night, but I forget. So the action of forgetting started in the past and it still continues to the present. So here we use the present perfect. So I have forgotten. Number 4, Helen go to Egypt for a holiday, but she's back home in England now. So the action of going to Egypt started in the past and finished in the past. So we use the past simple. Helen went to Egypt. Number 5, are you okay? Yeah, I have a headache, but I'm fine now. So the action of having, or the situation of having a headache started in the past and finished now. So we use the past simple. So the past simple of have is had. So I had a headache. Number 6, can you help us? Our car break down. So the action of breaking down started in the past and continues up to the present. So we use the present perfect, which means can you help us? Our car has broken. So in task number 4, 5 friends, Neil, Rachel, Paul, Carol, and Tim have just finished some jobs. So here, in the table, we have the activity and its result in the present. And we know that we use the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous when an action started in the past with a result now. So number 1, Rachel, Neil, where are you, sweeter? So here, Neil, because I. So here we have all the afternoon, which is a phrase that starts with all to emphasize on the duration of time. So we use the present perfect continuous. I have been sweeping the floors. Number 2, Tim, is the lunch finished? Neil, yes, Rachel. So let's go to the activity of Rachel, cut the grass. And here we use the present perfect. So yes, Rachel has cut the grass. Number 3, Carol, are the plates clean? Paul, they are clean now. I, and we go to the activity for Paul, do the washing up. So we use the present perfect continuous because we have 2 hours. So it is an emphasis on the duration of the action. So I have been doing the washing up for 2 hours. Number 4, Paul, why are your eyes red, Carol? Carol, because I, and here we use the present perfect simple, and it has a result now, which is that her eyes are red. So let's go to the activity of Carol, which is peel the onions. So I have peeled plus ed the onions. Rachel, is the fridge all right? Tim, of course, it is I. So here there's no emphasis on the length of the action. So we just use the present perfect simple. I have defrosted the fridge. So have plus the past participle of defrost plus ed, which is plus ed, and the fridge and full stop. So thank you so much for your attention, and this is the end of the lesson.